You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
Manchester United endured a historic humiliation on Wednesday, being knocked out of the Carabao Cup by fourth-tier Grimsby Town in a penalty shootout, marking a first in the club's history. The scene at Blundell Park was unforgettable. United players had clawed their way back from 2 goals down to draw 2-2, only to see the shootout stretch to 12-11, ending with Brian Mbeumo's second penalty striking the crossbar. Grimsby fans flooded the pitch, chanting, "Sacked in the morning," at a visibly dejected Ruben Amorim, whose reaction seemed to hint that the responsibility for change might no longer rest solely with the club hierarchy. Amorim's post-match comments suggested that the players had made their frustrations clear through their performance. Speaking to ITV, he acknowledged, "Something has to change, and you're not going to change 22 players again. It's hard to face everything. We move to the next game. Then we have time to decide things." The international break approaching next week may now provide a window for both reflection and difficult decisions about his future at Old Trafford. The match itself was riddled with mishaps for United. Andre Onana, the goalkeeper, struggled with 2 early goals, though Amorim defended him by saying the loss was not solely down to the goalkeeper, but to the overall team performance and approach against a lower league side. Tactical adjustments were made throughout, including frantic directions from Amorim and his assistant Carlos Fernandez. But Grimsby's second goal came immediately after a corner where Curnow was repositioned. Even the Premier League newcomers Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha missed crucial penalties in the shootout. Off the pitch, the atmosphere highlighted the contrast between the two clubs. United's team buses squeezed through narrow streets to reach the stadium, met by excited locals and children shouting at some of the game's most expensive players. Grimsby's chief executive, Polly Bancroft, added a touch of humor before the game, joking about the away dugout seatings. The scene emphasized how far removed the club had traveled from its usual environment. United's leadership team was partially absent, with only director Jason Wilcox present, leaving chief executive Omar Barada away. Amorim's future is ultimately tied to co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who has previously appreciated the coach's blunt honesty. The defeat, however, may accelerate discussions and decisions behind the scenes. Amorim described his state of mind as exhausted and apologetic to the fans, admitting that by the time the penalty shootout came around, it was no longer important to him. He insisted that the game's first-half performance, the lack of intensity and pressure, was the real story. Despite a late rally forcing penalties, the reality of the team's failings had been laid bare, leaving Manchester United in crisis early in the season and Amorim's tenure under intense scrutiny. This remarkable upset, occurring in the 3rd game of the season, has left questions about leadership, player accountability, and the direction of Manchester United louder than ever. Stay subscribed for more videos.